Hey guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today we're back with another book haul. I have honestly not done a book haul in months, so I feel like we are due. I have quite a few books to share with you guys. I have quite a few books that I've actually gotten from publishers here within the last couple of months. I, of course, want to talk about the books that I have received from Book of the Month over the last couple of months, and then some other random purchases that I've made here and there. So we're going to start with my Book of the Month picks because they are right here. Now, I don't really remember what months some of these books came from. Just know these books were picked between the months of August and October. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the first book that I have received recently from Book of the Month is Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. This is a book that I've already read, and you guys will hear more of my thoughts on my upcoming recent reads. But this is pitched as a thriller. I'm gonna tell you guys right now that that is not what this is. This is more like a really slow burn mystery that I didn't really care too much about. So we're following this woman. Her sister had went missing like years before. There's a situation that happens that brings this woman back to her hometown. She ends up getting a job at the place her sister last worked, and then she finds out some stuff about this place that she works at, as well as she gets new information about her sister. So yeah, this is just like a slow burn mystery that I was just not really in the mood for. And this is my fourth book that I've read by this author. I read their first two books. I actually have a review for those. I will have that link down below. But everything after those two books, I haven't liked as much. So I will probably try and check out one more thing by this author, and then if I don't end up liking that one, I'm gonna say maybe this author isn't for me anymore. But yeah, I did get this from Book of the Month. Another book that I got from Book of the Month that I actually am currently listening to on audio, this is Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. If you guys are keeping up with like the books that I put on my fall TBR, this was definitely one of the ones that I have on there. And at this moment, I'm only a little over halfway through, and I definitely have mixed thoughts about this one. I'm leaning more towards not sure if I'm liking it. So this is basically a Snow White retelling. We're following this woman who is really into poisons, and the king recruits her to try to help his daughter Snow, who he believes is being poisoned, and he wants a cure for her. But the lady goes out there and finds out some other stuff is going on. So yeah, it's basically a Snow White retelling, but told from a different character's perspective, which is an interesting take, but I'm just not sure if I'm liking it, but I did pick this up. Another book that I have here is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This is, I think it's adult. It's like adult romantasy. This is the second book in a series, I think. So on my fall TBR, I have the first book in the series, Phantasma. And I heard really good things about it. It's more of like a gothic romantasy. It has like some trials and obviously romance. So it sounds like something that I would like. Now, I'm really trying hard not to buy the next book in a series until I read the first one. But Book of the Month does this really weird thing where they will have like the first book in the series and then they won't continue on with it. So now I'm like paranoid about making sure my series actually match. So I just got this on the off chance that I actually really enjoy Phantasma and I want the next book in the series. I just want them to match. I'm sure you guys can understand the struggle, and I hate that Book of the Month does that, but I fall for it every time, and I continue to buy the first book in series, hoping that they will just continue the series. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I never know. So I just went ahead and picked this one up. Next up, we have The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Kanya. And I am really excited about this. This is a horror book. I have read two other books by this author. And the first one I really enjoyed, which was The Hacienda. Absolutely love that book. The second book, didn't like it as much. That was The Vampires of El Norte. And it was fine. Definitely didn't live up to the first book. So I'm curious to see what I'm going to think about this one. I have not heard anyone say anything about this one. I actually really enjoy the cover. I love anything that has to do with like possessions. But this says, When a demonic presence awakens deep in a Mexican silver mine, the young woman it seizes must turn to the one man she shouldn't trust. And this takes place in 1765, which, I think all of her stories kind of take place back in the day. So I'm looking forward to this one. Next up, we have Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I am so excited about this because I love a good haunted house story. I have heard really good things about Rachel Harrison's books. I have not read anything about this author, and I'm ashamed to say that because they do have a couple of books that I do want to check out at some point. But I decided to start here. I've heard really good things about this one. This is a adult horror, but this is about this girl, Cleo, who goes back to her childhood home after her mother dies. And I guess she's trying to get it ready to sell. And before her mother died, her mother always said that something, like basically the house was haunted. And now Cleo is getting to experience that for herself. So I'm really excited about this. And I'm definitely going to get to this before fall is over. Next up, I have a memoir. And this is Told You So by Macy Neely. If you do not know who this woman is, let me tell you. So I have recently gotten into the Hulu reality show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I have fallen victim to that. I love that show. And Macy is actually one of the people that I actually like. And I knew that she was coming out with a book because she talked about it on the show. And basically, this is the story of her life. I think she focuses a lot on her child's father because I believe he died tragically, either before she gave birth or like right after she gave birth. So that really affected her a lot. She talks about it on the show a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to this book. I did actually receive another physical copy from the publisher, but I gave that one to my friend and I kept my Book of the Month copy. And then the last book that I got from Book of the Month, this is Red City by Marie Lu. I'm not sure if this is adult or young adult, but it is fantasy. I picked this one up, because I actually really enjoy Marie Lu's books. I haven't read any of her books in quite a while. So I was really excited that she was coming out with this one. I picked this up because I liked the sprayed edges. I really like that Book of the Month is starting to do some of their own like special editions. And I know I just went on this like mini rant about not wanting to pick up like, you know, a book in a series that I'm not sure Book of the Month is going to continue with, but I couldn't help it. I really wanted this book. I already had it like in my Amazon cart. So when I saw that they had it, I went ahead and picked it up, and hopefully I like it, and hopefully they continue on with the series. I think this is the first book in a new series, I believe. But this says, when you win the game of power, who do you lose? This has to do with alchemy. The back of it says, alchemy and ambition, power and perfection, love and lies, welcome to Angel City, don't let it break your heart. And the sprayed edges is actually like a cityscape all the way around. So really, really liked that. And yeah, that's all it has, just the sprayed edges. So I'm really looking forward to this one. So now we're gonna be moving into the books that I have been receiving from publishers. And I feel really lucky because I have never received this many books from publishers. Now I do go and request certain things. A lot of the time I don't get anything. This just must be my season of receiving stuff from publishers, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about those. And one of these I actually just received before I started filming, and that is Episodes by Gucci Mane. This is the diary of a recovering madman. First, I really like this cover. And I was already interested in the book when I heard that he was coming out with this, but I was even more interested in the book once he did his interview on The Breakfast Club with his wife, Keisha Kaur. And I was really, really hoping that the publisher was gonna send this to me, and I was so happy that they did. So basically, he was recently diagnosed with bipolar disorder and paranoid schizophrenia, and this book is just his detailing how he is dealing with that and coping with it. And I think one of his friends also, or I don't even know if it's a friend, but somebody that he works with also is dealing with the same thing. And so he talks about it in this book, and this is something that I'm really excited for. Haven't read a memoir in a while, so I'm happy to have this one along with Macy's. So hopefully I can get to this soon. Next up, I have a mystery thriller. I was not aware of this, but this is Oxford Blood by Rachel Davis Featherstone. And I got this from Wednesday Books. I don't think I mentioned where I got the previous book from. That was from Simon Books, but this is from Wednesday Books. And this comes out in January of 2026. So it says, a master class in YA dark academia, secret cults, trolling, blackmail, privilege, and murder. Oxford Blood is a good girl's guide to murder meets Ace of Spades, as one girl navigates the cutthroat world of academia to uncover the truth behind her best friend's death. Now, I've read Ace of Spades, enjoyed it. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, loved it. So anytime somebody says that a book is like that one, I definitely want to pick it up, and I was happy that I received this one. Another arc I received is Good Intentions by Marissa Walls. I think this is a thriller, psychological suspense. So this one it goes on sale February of 2026, and I got this one from St. Martin Press. So in this, it says we're following this girl, Katie, and her twin sister has tragically passed away. But when Katie gets to the hospital, she runs into another grieving mother, and somehow they strike up some sort of like connection. And the story, I guess, is gonna go from there. I was also not aware of this story. I'm happy that I received it. I like the cover. So hopefully I actually like this one. Now this one, Moonsick by Tom O'Donnell, is a YA horror, dystopian horror. And I actually requested an arc of this from NetGalley, which I did get. And I ended up getting a physical copy sent to me before I was actually able to read the arc. So I'm really excited about that. This came from Wednesday Books, and they also sent like some stickers. But this says, The Last of Us meets Teen Wolf in this fast-paced horror debut about a high school senior who realizes she's been turned into a werewolf and must choose to turn herself in or live a life on the run. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this has something to do with a virus that turns people into werewolves. You guys know virus is a buzzword for me, so anything about a virus, I'm here for it, excited about this. Now this one has been on my radar for a long time. This is a new cover if you guys aren't familiar with it, but this is The Good House by Tanana Redu. This is a adult horror. This has been a book that has been recommended to me quite a bit. I have also seen a lot of people talk about this one. Anytime I feel people talk about Tanana Redu, this is a book that they are talking about. So this has been out for quite a while. This isn't new if you guys aren't familiar. I got this from Saga Press, and sometimes they have books that you can request that are older titles. Maybe they're finally in paperback, maybe they've gotten a new cover, something of the sort, and I requested this. I was really excited that I got it. All I know is about a mother and her son who lives in the mother's late grandmother's house, and I think the house is kind of like haunted, and it brings up like family secrets, and I can't wait to dive into this. Another one that I'm really excited about is Boomtown by Nick Stone. This is an adult thriller. I got this from Simon Books. This does not, I don't think, it's either recently came out or it's about to come out or about to be released. And this says Gone Girl meets P-Valley in Nick Stone's adult debut about two missing erotic dancers from Atlanta's most notorious gentlemen's club and the woman committed to finding them. Heard good things about this one. I have read I think like one book from Nick Stone. No, two books from Nick Stone. So if you're not familiar with this book, she actually wrote Dear Martin and Dear Justice. Those were the two books that I read from her. They are young adult books. And so I was excited to see that she had a adult book coming out. I would have never guessed it would be something like this, but I'm excited for it. Another one that I'm excited for, this is Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. I got this one from Simon & Schuster, and I've had my eye on this for a while. This is, again, one of like the backlist titles, and it's not even really backlist. This came out maybe like a year or so ago. but I think, yeah, it came out last year. It's now being released in paperback, so they had it as an option to request, so I went ahead and did that. The premise of this just sounds amazing. It says, in a world without white people, what does it mean to be Black? And from, I'm not trying to laugh at that, but it is interesting. So it says that one day, a cataclysmic event occurs. All of the white people in America walk into the nearest body of water. Interesting. So I'm excited to dive into this one. Another one that I was sent from the publisher, we have Hot Wax by M.L. Rio. If you are not familiar with this author, they are the ones that wrote We Are Villains. No, I have not read that book. And to be quite honest, it never really seemed interesting enough for me, but this one did. And I got, who did I get this from? I got this from, I don't know, Simon & Schuster. And when I got this, it came in a really cute box. It had like a lot of the little confetti in it. It came with some candy, some stickers. It was a whole thing. And it made me excited to read this even more. This is a vivid and immersive tale of one woman's reckless mission to make sense of the events that shattered her childhood and made her who she is. So I think this jumps back and forth between the summer of 1989 and the present now. I have heard some mixed things about this. I haven't heard too many people talk about it, but from the reviews that I have seen, they've been pretty mixed. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel about this one, but I'm still excited to pick it up. The last book that I have received from the publisher, we have What Hunger by Catherine Dang. I think this is a adult horror, and I think this is also Simon & Schuster. This is one of the ones that I requested, and this one is about this high school student, Ronnie. Something happens to her, and all of a sudden she starts to crave meat. So that is what did it for me. I'm curious about this one. All of the rest of the books that I'm going to be talking about are random books that I have picked up here and there over the last couple of months. You guys will be so proud of me because I've actually read some of these. So first off, we are starting with Widow's Point by Richard Sizemore and W.H. Sizemore. I think Richard is the father and W.H. is the son. If you can see, I've already started reading this, so yay me. And when I say I just started reading it, I'm not far in it at all. I only made it 30 pages, but this is a adult horror book, and it is told in mixed media. So journal entries, video recordings, voice recordings, that kind of thing. Hand cam. Yeah. And if I was this man, well, I think it's going to be flipping back and forth between 2017 and 2025. Right now, I'm just stuck in 2017. So this is about this lighthouse that is supposedly haunted or cursed, or maybe both. And all of these tragic things have happened since this lighthouse was built in like the 1800s. And so this man, I think his name was Thomas something. This man decided that it was going to be a smart idea to spend a weekend locked in this lighthouse, try to see some of the hauntings, how it's cursed. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he's in there. He's locked in there, and I'm 30 pages in, so I don't really have much to say about it, but I was really excited about this because I love books that are told in mixed media, and the fact that this is horror, the fact that it's fall time, definitely wanted to pick this up. Another one that I already read, yay me, this is We Live Here Now by Sarah Pembroke. You guys have been following my reviews on my channel. You know that I did a standalone review for this, and you will know that I absolutely loved it. I gave this 5 stars. This is probably, out of the 2 books that I read from Sarah Pembroke, this is my favorite. So this one just follows this married couple who goes to this like secluded property called Larkin Lodge, and some strange and creepy things are happening at this house, especially to the wife. And along the way, we also learn about the secrets these 2 people are keeping from each other. So really enjoyed this. You will absolutely love the end of this, I'm sure, because there is no way you will be able to guess what was actually going on in this house. So love this, would highly recommend this. And I would suggest you pick this up. If you have not picked up anything from Sarah Pembroke, I know her most popular book is Behind Her Eyes. I did enjoy that one. I gave that one 4 stars. I would say check this one out. Another one that I already read, This is Naima Simone's Church Girl. This is the first book. I don't know if it's like a duology or a series, but it's like one of those situations where we're following different characters. But in this one, we follow Aaliyah. I don't know if I said it, but it's adult romance. And Aaliyah is running away from her old life. She literally ran away from her fiance while they were at the altar. And she is starting a new life in Chicago. She comes across this man named Vaughn who runs a tattoo shop. She ends up working for him as a nanny to his daughter, and then a romance ensues. I really like this. Now, I will say in the beginning that I did not like Vaughn as a character. He was extremely rude to Aaliyah, but he grew on me over time, and I ended up really enjoying their relationship. And the next book that comes out in this, what is it, like a companion series, is going to come out next year, and we are following Aaliyah's cousin. So I'm looking forward to that. Another one that we have here is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This is a adult romantasy, I think. I know it is romantasy. I don't remember if it's like adult or young adult. I'm not gonna lie, I only picked this one up because it has received so much hype. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this has been picked up for a show, a movie, or something. So I'm really curious about this. This is on my fall TBR. Hopefully I can get to it. It just gives me like the fall vibes. It says, if you're not terrified, you're doing it wrong. I think it has something to do with some monsters. Somebody falls in love. That's all I got for this. So the next one is a book that I received from a friend. So this is Allie Hazelwood's Problematic Summer Romance. I actually think this is like the second book. I think this is another one of those companion stories. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. So I honestly don't know what this is about. My friend just asked me, well, to be honest, I don't want to put her on blast, but she said that she didn't like it and she thought maybe I would. So I don't know how that's going to go. All I know is following Maya, who's 23, and some man named Connor, who's 38, and Maya cannot stop thinking about him. So we'll see. Then I have All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I don't know what this is. It has some suspense in it. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I didn't really want this. The only reason why I picked it up is because one of the Barnes and Nobles that I went to, those booksellers were like pressuring me to get this. And so I felt so pressured to buy it. It was like 2 or 3 of them. Like as I was browsing in Barnes and Noble, they kept coming up to me and asking me for whatever reason if I wanted to pick up this book. Like I should really pick up this book. Like it's an amazing book. Like I have to have this book. And I was like, fine, just let me buy it. Like, can I get out of here? So I picked it up. It says it was their monthly pick, so I wonder if that's why they kept pushing it on me. I don't know. I do know that it's won a few awards, I think, but it takes place in 1975. We follow some boy named Patch who rescues a missing girl. Why is it so big? I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know if I will ever read this. I don't know if I will even attempt to try to get to this. If you've read it, let me know if it's something that you enjoy, but just know if those people from Barnes and Noble are watching this, I'm still upset that you guys pressured me into buying this. Another book that I have already finished, and of course we knew I was going to finish this one. This is She Didn't See It Coming by Sherry Lapina. This is her newest release for 2025. I was so excited about it. It did not disappoint. You guys know I am a really big fan of Sherry Lapina. I just love her domestic thrillers. They just always do something for me, and I know I'm going to have a good time with them anytime I read them. So, in this one, we have followed this girl, Bryden. And at the beginning of the story, she goes missing. The last place that she was seen was her condo building. And so her husband, after he tries to search for her himself, gets the police involved. They start questioning, everybody that lives in this condo building, and then all her friends and family and other random people are questioned into her disappearance. And I loved it. It was a little messy. It was a little predictable, I wish that this whole condo complex, I wish it would have played a bigger role than it did, but I wasn't mad at it. I enjoyed it. Another one that I have already read, we have Whispers of the Lake by Shanora Williams. This is actually a book that I read in my very first 24-hour reading vlog. So if you guys have not checked that out, I will have that link below, but this is one of the books that I read for that vlog. And I enjoyed it. This was my first book by Shanora Williams. I have been interested in reading something from them. And so this one, we're following Rose. Rose is searching for her missing ex-best friend. She is struggling with whether or not she should even search for this girl because they had a falling out. And so she ends up staying at a cottage that her ex-best friend was last seen at. And then the story kind of takes off from there and she starts finding out all this information. I had a good time. I especially really liked the end. It kind of became a little chaotic and really fast paced and a lot was happening. And I liked, not gonna lie, how messy some of this was, especially once you find out why they are no longer best friends. But I enjoyed it. I think I only gave it 3 stars just because I don't think it really did anything too different outside of thrillers that I've already read. But I am interested to pick up more from the author. I'm just now noticing that for this next book, Richard Sizemore, Memorials, this is the same author that is writing the book or wrote the book that I am currently reading now, Widow's Point. And so this one, it says a group of students encounter a supernatural terror while on a road trip through the Appalachia. And it takes place in 1983. So I'm looking forward to this. Depending on how much I like the other book that I'm reading from them will determine how fast I try to get to this one. Another one that I have already read and sadly I did not like. This is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This is a adult mystery thriller. I was really excited about this because you guys know Holly Jackson is the one that wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series that I absolutely adored. This was her first adult book and I was so freaking excited for it and it truly let me down. So we're following, I don't even know what this girl's name is, Jet. We're following Jet. And on Halloween night, she ends up getting hit in the head while she's at home by some unknown person. She ends up in the hospital. The doctors tell her that she has like a week to live. So during that week, one of her really good friends decide that she is basically going to try to find the person that essentially killed her. And that's what we do. I will have to say, I did not like this because of a lot of reasons. But I do have a dedicated review for this that I will have linked down below. But 2 of my main things that I did not like about this is 1, it did not feel like it was an adult story at all. Like, you could have told me this was YA and I would have been like, sure, yes, it is YA. I also just did not like Jet as a character. And because we followed her throughout the story, it was kind of rough to get through. But yeah, if you guys want to know my full thoughts, I will have that video linked down below. It does include spoilers at the end, but for the most part, it's spoiler free. So you guys can check that out if you are curious about this book. Okay, we only have a few more books to go. So up next we have The Mad Wife by Megan Church. This is a new release for this year. I freaking love this cover. Something about it, it's speaking to me. I've recently started hearing people talk about this one, but it says it's a haunting exploration of identity, motherhood, and the suffocating grip of social expectations that will leave you questioning the lives we build and the lives we live. Then like a tagline on the back, it says, they called it hysteria, she called it survival, and we're following this woman, Lulu, in the 1950s, and she's a housewife, and I'm interested. I've heard good things about this one, so I'm hoping to at least read this one before the end of the year. Next up, we have It's One of Us. I think this is it's a tense thriller. This one, when I read the description of this, immediately it sounded like something that I wanted to read. So we're following Olivia, and Olivia is married and she has been struggling with trying to conceive a child. So her and her husband, they've obviously been trying, and now she's going through like IVF treatments, the whole shebang. One day, the police come to their house because there was a murder that had taken place. And they said that the person who they think did it is the husband's child. And he's like, huh? Like, we can't even have kids, so how is it my kid? Come to find out, he had actually in the past donated his sperm to a sperm bank. And so that person that they believe did whatever murder is technically his child, but not his child. And so now there's a question of how many more of his children are out there running around committing murders. So, it says, this is a twisting, emotionally layered thriller that explores the lies we tell to keep a marriage together or break each other apart. If you guys have been here, you know that this sounds like something that I am going to eat up, and I cannot wait to read it. Now, this next one, I don't really know about this. This is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. And if you don't know who that author is, they are the author of Magnolia Parks. Now, the reason why I say I don't know about this, I don't know how I feel about this cover. So let's take a look at it. Now, what do you think that looks like to you? That looks like she's supposed to be Jesus. And these are, I don't know, angels, disciples. I don't know. Something about the cover is not sitting right with me. And I felt that way before I bought it. But the more I look at it, kind of giving it the side eye. But this is a romance, like a toxic romance, I think. We're following someone named Georgia. And I think she ends up going back home to South Carolina because there's like a death in the family. And then it brings up all of these tragic emotions. And then she's drawn back to this guy that she used to like back in the day. But this cover is continuing to throw me off. I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we have The Dating Prohibition by Taj McCoy. I actually picked this up because I went to her author signing. She did sign this. This is a adult romance. And it says, for Ty, love should never be off limits. She is a beautiful lady in person. And I don't think her pictures like do her justice. She is so pretty and she was so nice and she was so funny. So I'm really excited about this one. It says, in this spicy new rom-com, an ambitious entrepreneur working to get her speakeasy supper club off the ground is pushed off balance when her childhood crush turns up hotter than ever, then tells her she's off limits. And I think he tells her she's off limits is because he is her brother's best friend. And so I am excited about this, and it's definitely giving those cozy fall vibes. Next up, we have a book that I have already read, and that is Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. This is the second book in the Curve series, I think. The first book was Curvy Girl Summer. In that book, we follow Aaliyah. In this book, we are following Aaliyah's best friend, Nina. Really love Nina. Love her as a character. And so in this one, she is dating around a lot. She ends up finding someone that she's really attracted to, but then in their relationship, there is a huge conflict of interest that we explore in this. This is a super spicy book. They are doing it every other chapter. So if that is not your thing, this probably is not going to work out for you. But I would say if you like the first book, check out this one. And the third book is coming out next year, and it is going to follow their other best friend. I believe her name was Jasmine. But I had a really good time with this one. Next up was one of those random purchases at Barnes & Noble, and it was a different Barnes & Noble than the one I was harassed at before. So this is Love Mom by Ileana Zander. I just loved the sprayed edge. It says, from your number one fan, XOXO. This is a thriller. So on the back, it says, a best-selling author, a mother, a murderer. And I think this girl's mother just died, but people think that her mother is actually a murderer based off of the books that she has written. And a lot of this, not a lot, some of it is told from like letters that this daughter has been receiving. I've actually been hearing good things about it, even though I had never heard of this book. I swear once I bought it, then all of a sudden, like on Instagram, I started seeing a lot of people reviewing it. So I'm excited about this. Now, this next one, it's actually 3 books. So I bought the Summer I Turned Pretty series only because I feel like, I don't know, the show pressured me into buying this. See, I'm easily pressured, as we can see. But I have been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. Absolutely love that show. And I was like falling down these TikTok rabbit holes where people were talking about the differences between I can't get these out, between the differences between the show and the books. And so I just feel like I needed to read the books myself. Oh my gosh. Well, I would like to get this out so that I can show you what they look like, because they have pretty sprayed edges, but they're like stuck. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Okay. So all of that. So these are the books. So the first one, The Summer I Turned Pretty. I don't know if I have these in order. I do know the first one is The Summer I Turned Pretty. Then I have It's Not Summer Without You. And then we have We'll Always Have Summer. I thought these were so pretty. And I love like the sprayed edges with like the water. But if you do not know anything about this series, it is so messy. So we're following this girl, Belly. And Belly and her family, every year they go to this like summer house in Cousins. And they share the summer house with another family. The mother is Susanna, and she has two sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. Belly ends up falling for both of those boys, and it's like a huge love triangle. It's so messy, and I loved it. So I will at some point read these, but I just wanted to have these on my shelf because I am in love with the show. So then we have another book that I have already read. So it's Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. This is a adult thriller. This was such a fun time. So in this, we are following, I forgot her name, Lottie. And Lottie is a retired serial killer. She had been questioned about her crimes, but she was never like arrested or charged for anything. And so it's been years and years later. So this is an old woman, and she's at her house one day. This lady comes to her and she wants to do a documentary about people who were accused of crimes but weren't actually held responsible for anything. And Lottie is like, oh, no, 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 no. Like, I do not want my name back out in the public. So she ends up committing a murder. And then that murder turns into another murder, turns into another murder. And next thing we know, Lottie has been brought out of retirement, but because she's so old, she's making a lot of mistakes. I really like this. I really like that the couple of books that I've read from Samantha Downing, they don't take themselves too seriously, and they are just fun. And I thought this was fun. This is definitely something that you will fly through, and I would highly recommend this from Samantha Downing. So I have two more books. I'm just going to show them together because they are part of a duology, but that is The Perfect Marriage and The Perfect Divorce by Geneva Rose. Not going to lie to you guys, I just bought these because they looked really cool, and I've had my eye on these on Amazon for a long time. I have just been waiting for the price to drop. So I ended up getting The Perfect Marriage for only $9. And then I did spend $13 on the second one, only because I was afraid that if I got this one for $9, what if all of a sudden they just stopped selling these? So I had to get this one. So I really liked this. Oh, I didn't say what this was about, but this is a adult thriller. On the front it says, his mistress is dead, his wife is his only hope. And from what I can recall from the synopsis is that there's this married couple, the husband was having an affair, and his mistress died, and now the wife has to help him in some kind of way. But I got these because they are so pretty. So here are the sprayed edges, and then here's the inside cover of one of them, and then here is the hardcover. And then in this one, I feel like it had drawings or something in it. Like this. I honestly don't know what that's all about. I hope it's not a spoiler, but it has like stuff in here like that. And I'm pretty sure the second book has the same thing, maybe? No, the second one isn't as fancy. But it does have this. I'm pretty sure those are, I think they're like bullet holes. But I'm excited for this one. I've only read one thing by Geneva Rose. Not gonna lie, I didn't like it. I don't even remember what that was. In case you're wondering, the book is like over there. Its home is where the bodies are. I think its home is where the bodies are. And the only reason why I'm keeping it is because the cover was really cute. But I do want to check these out. I feel like this is one of the series, at least the first book, The Perfect Marriage, has gotten really good reviews. So I wanted to check it out, but I I just had to have these covers, so I bought them. So that is all that I have for you guys. I feel like this book haul turned a little chaotic towards the end, and it's probably because my energy drink is starting to kick in. Not sure if I should drink one of those the next time I film. But if you have read any of these books and you have thoughts, please let me know your thoughts down below. But I will see you guys next time. Bye.